aptitude in children. We'll also be supporting mentorship and internships for IEEE young professionals and student members. And finally, we have 2 new working groups, the Latin America working group and the North America working group. And we are focused, we are committed to raising up those groups. They're new groups. We are committed to raising up those groups to the level of the other groups, because in these 2 continents also, there's a large number of unserved people. So with that, I will stop sharing my screen. I'm happy to take questions when the moderator asks. I will hang around for that. But thank you for the opportunity, and thank you to the organizers and the moderator for putting on this presentation today.
Thank you very much, Rajan. We can see that IEEE Smart Village is really doing a lot for the underserved community. So now we have the panelist session. So the first is Message Chelangat. So you have the floor.
Sorry for the interruption, Chinelo.
Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption. Irene had requested to go first because she has got some time constraints.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
please.
Okay, Irene.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. It's a very nice chance to be here. So can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. So I'm very happy to be among these inspiring women and this society also, the IEEE Smart Village. I mean, I've been volunteering for a long time, and now I have a 25K grant. I'll start a project opportunity this learning process. So I'll just walk you through a bit of my research in Nile University in Egypt. So let me share the screen one more. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Hello? Oh, you can. Okay. So let me start by introducing myself very quickly. I'm the director of a research center called Smart Engineering Systems Research Center. And at this center, we have a lot of activities related to waste management, environmental engineering. So this is our university, Nile University, of research and service and innovation and entrepreneurship. We've been working on agriculture waste for a long time. And we chose agriculture waste because it has a very high percentage in Egypt. And basically, we selected agricultural waste and organic waste since we have a problem in the organic waste treatment in Egypt. One of our applications is fabricating natural fibers for construction and textile. We use these fibers as banana insulators because there is a lot of banana waste all over the country. Several students working as in this area, and they are their PhD masters in banana waste insertion. Some of our publications. So we do a lot of treatment to produce compost from banana waste. And we also have several research from agricultural waste of cotton and food waste to produce polylactic acid, which is a natural polymer. We found out that this so we replicated naturally. Publication related to LA, and we have several wastes that produce lactic acid. So one of them is the waste of molasses. We have a lot of factors to optimize. This is some pictures from the manufacturing process of lactic acid and its filtration. And after extraction of the lactic acid, we do some membrane separation, and this is the machine that we're using in our labs. There is a lot of separation techniques and a lot of membranes, but currently we are trying to produce our own membranes or sheets full filtration of lactic acid from agriculture waste. We have a small lab test that shows how to do it, and we're trying to fabricate our own membranes and then test it. So this is the layout of the process that we have in our labs. After producing the lactic acid, we do a polymerization process to turn it into plastic, as you can see. We're also working on food packaging from sugarcane waste, and this is the area where I got my fund from IEEE Smart Village. So this is the plate, the shape of the plate that I'm fabricating. I chose sugarcane waste because we have a lot of sugarcane waste in our country. And after that, it is a circular economic model, because after finishing and starting to say we're not using the plate, we can put it into compost. So this is the process. And this is actually the process in real life, and we're trying to do the same with the machine that we are manufacturing through the fund. We also have another application, food packaging from shrimp waste shells. This is the process that we do, and we add some additives, which are natural additives too. And finally, we try to prolong the shelf life of food using our new packages. And as you can see, after packaging, it of course, these sheets, after we use them, they can biodegrade in the soil. Another application that we're using is we're producing green corrosion inhibitors from different types of waste, such as banana waste. And as you can see, these are the experiments. We have watermelon waste and coffee waste, and we produce a very high efficient corrosion inhibitors from these types of waste. We also have some applications related to textile wastewater. So we produce some membranes from sugarcane waste again, and they are turned into activated carbon through a small chemical process. And finally, we do some optimization for the processes, and then we get a 99% efficiency of wastewater. One other application is we're using hardwood, because hardwood is coming from trees, so we're trying to produce hardwood instead of from the trees, from cotton stalks waste. So I will not take a lot of time, but I just wanted to show you how the technology and how we use this technology in treating different types of waste and producing good products that would save the environment, and still they are applying the concept of sustainable development and circular economy. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Irene. It's so nice that we have a food packaging that can actually decay. Thank you for all you do. So the next on the panelist is Mercy Chelangat.
Hello, thank you for the opportunity to share my work with Smart Village, and it's an honor to be here with you today. So I will go right into my presentation. Okay, just a minute. Right, so my name is Mercy Chelangat Koech, and I was a Smart Village project developer in Kenya. Currently doing my PhD studies and also working as a research assistant at the Renewable Energy and Vehicular Technology Lab at the University of Texas at Dallas. So as we know, the three pillars of Smart Village, which is enterprise development, education, and electricity provision, which is now technology provision. We worked to ensure that we meet the three pillars, to ensure that the community we were working on was empowered fully. So the project I was involved with is the Natut Farm project located in Turkana. And this was done in partnership with Bright Hope International. So I would like to recognize my colleagues, Dotun Modupe and Paul Kanja, who were really instrumental in ensuring that this project was well done. It was through the efforts of the team and the community that really made sure that the project went through. So Turkana faces drought issues coming from being a place that is it doesn't receive enough rainfall throughout the year. So the farmers in this area were usually used to doing other activities until Bright Hope saw that, you know, we need to help the farmers. And through their involvement with the community, they decided to come up with this farm that would provide the training skills to the farmers, the necessary equipment to ensure that the farmers were producing the right amount of vegetables and fruits so that they could provide this to their families. So the main goal of this project was to end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. So with the help of Bright Hope, we were able to partner to ensure that we provide the community a hope for today, a hope for tomorrow, and a hope for eternity. And so we thank IEEE Smart Village for coming in and helping to really upscale this particular project. So with the help of the IEEE Foundation and IEEE Smart Village, we were able to receive $25,000 US to build the system up from the 5 kilowatts system to now a 13.5 kilowatt system. And so what we learned in the process was that community buy-in and sustainability were key factors to ensuring that the project would really work. And so we worked day to day with the community members. So in this particular project, women are more marginalized in that area, and so they comprise 70% of the farmers. And as at now, there has been more land provided by the community, because they have seen the success and the promise that enabling their community members to produce their own food can actually bring. So the farm is divided into different blocks, and each block has different farmers, a different number of farmers, and the stakeholders in the community, besides the community members, are also some university student interns. And the farm previously supported 100 farmers directly, 2,000 households, since each household has 10 to 20 people in the household. And through the provision of the water, this actually helps the entire community, because previously they would walk really far to fetch water. So right now they have access to water just right at the farm. And so this farm has enabled people to have balanced nutrition, because previously they were only reliant on livestock and meat products. So this is a photo of the installed PV system at the Natut farm. We can see the farm there, and as of today, it's actually been increased in size. So the project outcomes that we were able to notice is there was an increased average income per household, because they would sell the farm vegetables. And then there was also increased production of crop yields. It was also in better quality. And then it also led to increased partnerships with various stakeholders. And then we also ensured that the micro enterprises that were on the farm were expanded to the household level. So this was seen by the effort of the women farmers to actually extend their practical skills that they learned from the farm to make kitchen gardens in their home. And so the women also reported that they had better living standards, and this was witnessed through them being able to educate their kids. They were now able to purchase other basic needs, such as water tanks that they needed to store water. And we also see that the women were empowered financially, because they were now able to go and sell their crops that they produced from the farm. So here are just some of the photos that show the continued effort at the farm to ensure that the farmers continue to improve their skills in tending to the farm, to the crops on the farm. And we really thank Smart Village for helping us see this project to come to fruition. And we also thank Bright Hope International for really helping us to work with the community, because without their support, we would not really have achieved this. So I would also like to, thank the donors who came through Smart Village to ensure this project was a success. It was really empowering to see that the farmers of the community were happy, and they would no longer use hand jerry cans to water the farm, but instead rely on the automated solar drip irrigated farm. So thank you for the opportunity, and looking forward to continue to engage and hopefully empower more women in the communities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mercy. The people that are in Natut Farm will really be glad that you and your team are able to help them with the solar irrigation projects. Thank you so much. So we have the last but not the least, saving the best for the last, Monica LaBiche Brown. Yeah, you have the floor.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me to be a part of this interesting conversation. I'd like to share my slides. Can you see those?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. And do you see it in slide share mode?
No.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yeah, but it's divided.
Ah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. It's divided, but it's okay. You can actually go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So thank you again for having me. As an introduction, I am Monica LaBiche Brown, the founder and executive director of Africa Development Promise. And Africa Development Promise works in Rwanda and Uganda to improve the lives and livelihoods of rural women through training and resources that support their collective efforts to operate competitively in the marketplace. Now, that's a very long mission statement, but I will explain it more. So, facts about Africa Development Promise. We start with agriculture because women are more likely to participate in the agricultural sector for self-employment. In fact, in Rwanda and Uganda, where we work, over 70% of women in these rural areas participate in agriculture. And they have little access to extension services or to financial services or access to improved inputs such as seed and fertilizer. And so as a result, they are restricted to subsistence farming. And women also have outdated technologies such as hoes and cutlasses and things like that, that really limit their ability to grow. So overall, what we have found is that rural women work more and longer hours compared to men, because besides taking care of the farming, they have household responsibilities such as taking care of their children, preparing food, collecting fuel wood and water, and all these things prevent them from doing productive endeavors that can increase their personal growth. So Africa Development Promise works in this area to make sure that these women are equipped to be able to earn an income through their the work that they do. And as Rajan had mentioned earlier, studies have shown that when you put money into the hands of women, it has a long-term impact on the whole family, their health, their nutrition, housing, education, which helps decrease poverty. So this is a way in which we feel like there is opportunity to impact rural communities, because the money stays in the community and is spent on the families. So what Africa Development Promise does is that we focus on supporting women in agricultural cooperatives, because in cooperatives, they can pool their resources together and they can work as a group to find markets and things like that. So it is important that women be able to run their own businesses. So these cooperatives are set up in a way that it is women-led. So in order to make the cooperative successful, we make sure we have 4 areas that we focus on, and that is governance and business management. We want to make sure that they are running their businesses effectively, that they have the financial management in place, they have business plans, and that each member in the cooperatives understands their role and responsibilities. We also provide technical and vocational training and mentoring. So in working with these women, we do an assessment of the cooperative. to figure out what has worked, what hasn't worked, and then we build on what has worked. Oftentimes we find that they're using outdated models. Through these assessments, they themselves will identify the things that they have been lacking. And based on that, we then develop a plan to help them with the technical assistance in building the capacity to be able to run their farms properly. So initially, I had mentioned governance. Governance is the cooperative as itself. And then the technical assistance is for the farmers themselves on how to run their farms and use the best approaches and the more modern approaches that are available. Then we look at equipment and infrastructure, the needs that there are in the community. And so far in Rwanda, I think we will probably be called the greenhouse farmers. We have promoted a lot of greenhouse farming because the area in which we work in Rwanda, the Bugesera district, is very drought prone. And so growing in greenhouses allows for the women farmers to be able to control the environment within the greenhouse. We have also supported, we also support with irrigation, because that is probably the biggest impediment for the women. Like Mercy mentioned, a lot of them are using jerry cans to water. So what we're trying to do is support them with irrigation systems that are solar powered. And this is where IEEE has been very instrumental in that they have supported three agricultural powered, solar powered projects. And one of them, you can see the picture there. In addition to that, we also support what we have found is that, a lot of women, once they're working as a cooperative, they are then looking for starting side businesses. So what we have started to do is support them with training on how to start micro businesses. And by the time they finish the program, which is based on a curriculum called Street Business School, once they have finished that 5-month program, then they're given seed funding to be able to start their businesses. So these are some of the ways in which we have supported women, because it's important for them to get that kind of support that includes financial support. And then we link them to other organizations that might be able to support them with that kind of, those kind of resources. So in Rwanda, we have supported 7 agricultural cooperatives and 1 community-based organization. In Uganda, we have 4 agricultural groups. We've supported 4 agricultural groups, and the bigger part of our program in Uganda focuses on the vocational training. And that, again, was funded by IEEE Smart Village, where we have sewing programs and computer literacy, and of course, the Street Business School. In addition to that, we had piloted a program called Girls with Dreams to make sure that we're capturing girls early to teach them livelihood skills, in addition to supporting their educational endeavors. And so these encompass the programs that we support. So worth highlighting, 100% of our cooperatives are women-led. 100% of the leaders received governance and management training. Cooperative, 67% of the members are women. So that when we say women cooperatives, that is not to say that we don't have support men, but we prefer that there is that they have women in leadership. 25% of women who have been trained have received training and have been given seed funding. So overall, when you look at Africa Development Promise, we have dispersed over $1 million in support to these cooperatives. And what we have found is within the first two harvests, 65% of there is an increase in crop yield because of the technologies that are offered, and also that there is an 85% increase in profits. So yeah, we're very proud of the work that we've done. And all in all, I know our work has reached about 3,250 people, either indirectly or directly. So I'm happy to take any questions that there might be. And thank you again for having me to make this presentation.
Thank you very much, Monica. It's alarming to know that we have 75% rural women working in agriculture, and for you and your team to support them to have a structured business that will actually help them scale their business and also support their family. So this is time for question and answer. So if you have your questions, you can put it on the Q&A session and we will read it through. You can also tell us the speaker you want your question answered. So we have ones that have already been asked by Samuel Nkata, and it has been answered. So please keep your questions coming. So we are in the question sessions. So while we are waiting for the audience to ask their question, I have a question for you, Mercy. And my question is, you have this big project of scaling a 1.5 kilowatt solar irrigation system to 11 kVA, and you were supported by IEEE Smart Village and some other persons. So my question is, this project you are able to carry out in this expansive farm, were you able to get back or yet to get back the finance so that you can actually repeat such investments in other farms? Yeah, thank you.
Good question. So I think if we look at the return on investment of the farm, it's more of the not the financial return per se, but the multiplier effects that has come through the upscaled installation of the solar system. This is because we can see now that more farmers are able to have access to water. More farmers are now able to farm their own crops. Some parts of the farm were not arable because the water was not able to reach there sufficiently. So now this land space can be utilized, and more farmers have been allocated that piece of the farm, and they are now getting to farm vegetables and fruits on that end, which they can then sell. So in terms of the return on investment, I think it will be more of the downstream effects that we see in both the participants and the community at large, and especially seeing that we now have like an additional 9 acres that was provided by the community because of the success of this initial farm. It shows that in a way there has been, a better situation than before. So yes, I will say seeing that there are a lot more people who want to join the farm, just in that community alone, there are like 20,000 community members, and we can only, the initial farm could only help 100. So with the increase of the farm, we'll now be able to help more. And I think it's one step at a time. I think in terms of benefit, there has been benefit realized, though not directly towards the investment of another solar plant, but towards the community's uplifting in terms of their living standards. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. So it's more of an impact-driven project. Yeah, happy to know. So Rajan, what do you think if we want to kind of have a multiple effects of these projects carried out by Monica, Mercy, what would you think that would be more sustainable for these projects to actually have multiple effects? Yeah, in finances. Yeah.
So, we are delighted to see the work that Mercy and Monica are doing. This is, it is this multiplier effect that we look for. And again, we are empowering the regional working groups to work with applicants, to work with local, we have local people working with local people. So, and then, as I said earlier, it becomes their responsibility and their authority, and we will then follow their lead. We'll follow their recommendation on what to do. So I welcome you to contact people like Muhammad Buhari and Aboydun and others. They are the folks who are in the leadership of our Africa working group. So please work with them and we'll take it forward from there.
Okay, thank you very much. So talking about productive tool in technology, what can you tell the young girls out there that are pursuing their career or probably in the rural community? What are the top 3 technology skills for you, for them to be able to pursue in order for them to be productive? Yeah. Questions to Monica and Mercy. Top 3, just 1 minute. Yeah.
For rural areas, because the majority of the women are involved in agriculture, I would say that the top resources that they need is energy. Energy makes everything easier for them to be able to power either their homes, the tools that they're working with, and then it makes them more productive in that way. For the younger girls coming up, I would recommend that they learn some computer literacy skills. There is a big divide, and as much as there is an opportunity to be able to learn those skills, it makes them more marketable in the future. And also it allows them to run any kind of business they have more effectively, because they're able to do their financial management and things like that on online.
Okay, Mercy, thank you. Yeah, Mercy.
Yes, so just to follow up on what Monica has said, I think technology is a key enabler, and through some of the projects that are being done, we can learn to see what challenges are there in the society we come from, and then try to use the appropriate technology to help solve them. So another thing would be to just continue empowering more women. At times you think that your input can be is not so much, but with the little mentoring you do in the community, with whatever little resource you have, it actually counts towards helping another individual. And then the last one, I think, is just to continue to work with the different stakeholders in the community to see how to help. Usually we also see that we can be limited by who we involve in our project. So if we try to expand the scope and try to find community partners who have a good relationship with the community, they can help us to reach more people. Yeah, so thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we have a question from Irene Wilson. For Mercy, it says, would you then characterize one of the successes, food security, as a profit realized? Would you characterize food security as a profit realized? Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And actually, because the women are both able to produce food from the farm and the household gardens, this part of the produce goes to sell to earn revenue, and then part of it is used for consumption, for personal or household consumption. So this for sure shows some of the profit that goes, because initially they would have to buy the food, but right now they can produce their own, and the extra that remains goes to sell in the markets. So yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much, our speakers. We are about winding up for today's webinar. I wouldn't know if you would have, Mercy and Monica, I wouldn't know if you would have one word you can say to encourage women out there who are also trying to empower other women, or also volunteering because they have the passion to grow the community. What is one word you would want to leave with them? Yeah, before we wrap up the session. Thank you. Yeah, Monica, I can go first. Yeah.
Okay. When you say one word, do you mean one word or?
I don't mean one word.
Oh, okay. Okay, just checking. Yes, I would say that women, we have a lot of power. We just have to come together as a collective to understand our power and to exercise our power. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so for me, I would say to go for those opportunities that you think may benefit the community. You know, give your time when you're free, and don't shy away from applying for the grants. It can be a bit strenuous, but you learn a lot in the process, and in the end, you'll feel fulfilled because of the community benefiting. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. So we are about wrapping up for today's session. Rajan, I don't know if you have anything to say before we wrap up. Anything?
So my one word is that please join our regional working groups. Please join the Africa working group or the South Asia working group and so on, because in the Africa working group, for example, we have representatives from 44 of the 54 countries in Africa, but equally important, about half the membership is female. So please come in, it's a friendly environment. You will learn and you will also teach. It's an opportunity to learn from other people who have successfully applied for grants. And these are not grants, this is seed funding. And along the way, you'll also help other people who are applying for this seed funding. So with that, I think, thank you all for organizing this today. And back to you, Chinelo.
Thank you very much. So we have our LinkedIn page, IEEE Smart Village. Please follow our page. Please, you can join us and learn more about entrepreneurship as other things as Rajan have said. So we thank everyone in this call. We really appreciate you for your presence. As you have heard it from the beginning, this is the first webinar series. That means there is more cooking up. So please look out for more webinars, and thank you very much for being on this call once again. Thank you and bye. Yes.
Thank you.